everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to go ahead and just film this video for you guys. I'm going to be planning out my budget for the week, and I will have to extend some of these items that I like to separate weekly for, so grocery, gas, because I am not going to get paid for another 2 weeks, so I have to make sure that I have enough money for buying food and all of that. So I'm going to set aside 2 weeks worth of some of these. So you'll see that some of these items are a little bit more than it usually is for previous budgets. So just keep that in mind. But I hope that this video will inspire you guys to plan out your weekly budget. That way you're not stressed out and scrambling for things that you need and unexpected things. That's what a budget is for. It's a guide to kind of keep your finances in check. So I hope that you enjoy this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and run through all of these items. And I'm gonna put a number here, and this is the pay that I had budgeted out for. This is just a good way to kind of see how I run a zero-based budget. So let's just get started. Okay, so 6. All right, so you always want to, of course, start with your income, and then you'll divide it up into different expenses. So I always like to list my tithe, my giving first, because I truly believe that if you give back to the Lord what belongs to Him and giving Him more, you will be blessed in return. So I always will list giving as the number one for my expenses. So this week is going to be, and I always like to separate ahead for my mortgage, so we're not scrambling to pay our mortgage. So that's why that's there for this amount. And our ministry, car insurance, 2. Okay, so grocery, I'm setting aside 150, so that's 75 for 2 weeks, or for each week. That's why that's there. Gas for me, gas for my husband. And then we have a homeowners association, so wonderful HOA. And I like to set aside portions, that way I could pay them at the end of our 3 months, because we pay it once every 3 months, but it's not too expensive, so I guess that's fine. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and total out these expenses here. And now I'll take my income and I'll subtract the total of the expenses to see what I have left over. Okay, now with this, after paying all of, like, you know, the minimum payments on bills, things like that, you want to set aside to either, if you are doing your debt snowball, or if you're working on your baby step 1, if you follow Dave Ramsey, I highly recommend following him because his program is amazing. But after you do what you have to do here, your fixed expenses, you know, the most important bills to keep you in your home, you know, food in your belly, all of the important expenses, you then are left with funds, hopefully, Hopefully you are. Now with this is where you prioritize. You have paid all of the bills and everything. You can use this and roll it over to your emergency fund or your debt snowball to pay off all of your debt. But I am going to be using this for some of these items because I know that there are certain things that's going to be coming up that I have to budget for. So this is why I do this list here, because Christmas is coming up. I have to budget, my husband and I, we have to budget to buy gifts, okay? We're just not gonna not buy people presents. We wanna budget for it. We wanna include that in our budget. So I have set that aside, and then we want to work on purchasing a car, putting our down payment on a new vehicle or used vehicle, because we lease. We lease, and we made that mistake. We leased 2 vehicles. So our lease is coming due for one of our cars. So we need a plan to set aside money so that we can put a down payment on our next car, because we can't be carless, you know? So I've planned on that, and then we have maintenance that needs to be done on our cars throughout the year. So, you know, you plan out for these items. And then also, I feel that it's good to pay ourselves back. Dave Ramsey, he may say a few other things, but this is what will keep me and my husband sane. I don't overspend on a lot of things. I only do a few things for myself. So I'll get my hair done once every few months. Like it's really not a norm for me. And my husband, he goes to the barber. So we budget for those things to, you know, give to ourselves. That's so important, that you will pay yourself back a little bit. Don't, you know, overdo it. We don't over budget for that. But I feel that it's important that you set aside something for you. So that's what that is. Now, after that, we want to build up our emergency fund. You know, that is something that we are now working on again, because we had to use some of our emergency fund for our dog, and now we have to replenish that. So with the remaining money and any like side hustles or anything like that, we will put back in our savings account to build our emergency fund. But I just wanted to explain that a little bit because I find that to be super helpful, at least for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, and these are the items that I will be separating for my envelopes that I have here. So I'm just gonna go into it. All right, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and total this. Now I'm gonna subtract the funds that I had left over from this number. And I'm left with 105. And I'm actually gonna put all of that into my savings account so that I can slowly, or as fast as I can, but it's gonna build up my emergency fund. So that is it for my budget. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm gonna be stuffing my cash envelopes. And the items that I am separating specifically for my envelopes are these ones that I'm marking. And then all of these items here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys now me stuffing my cash envelopes. All right, so let's just start with giving, and these are typically the envelopes that I have in my wallet or my husband has out. So we're gonna start with the giving, and that's gonna have 230. So 2, 20, and 30. And then the next item is grocery. Now, I don't actually have an envelope for my groceries any longer. I am using this clip, and I have a Post-it note on the front of it, and I have the week that it is for, and I'm just gonna tally down or mark off what I have spent, and keep all of my receipts and such here. So I just have it there. So I have $1 left over. Well, $1.59 actually. So yeah, so I'm just gonna take a Post-it note and put grocery on it and what is in it. It's gonna be $75 for 1 week. And then this is for the following week. And I'll put the dates on here after. But each will have $75. So I'm gonna take 50, 75, and 50, 75 for the next. So that is 1. And I'm just gonna put that $1 in with this week. So that is how, it just fits easier in my wallet. And this is a new wallet that I got, by the way, guys. And I'm just gonna put that in there and keep all my receipts together. All right, next is gas for the both of us. So I think I got all 20s for this. So 60 for me. And 80. Okay. All right, so moving on to these. So gifts. And that's these ones that I have set aside. And these go in my safe. So I was trying to keep these in alphabetical order, but I realized that I marked it wrong. All right. So gifts gets 47, 67. Okay. And try to keep this. And now we're in order again. So 20. I know I'm only setting aside $20 this week for our car, but that's okay because my husband, he does like side work, and we've been adding funds to some of these categories with the blessing that he has gotten this side work. So just keep that in mind. All right, 15 is gonna go to car maintenance. Okay. Home will get 20. Personal, we each get 15. And then pet gets 15. All right. So that is it for the budget and the cash envelope stuffing. And I am gonna go ahead and move on to the envelopes just to make sure that I total everything and everything matches what I have in my envelopes, my individual envelopes. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in here. So this is the chart, my sinking fund chart that I had mentioned quite a few times already. But I have listed up at the top the titles of each of my sinking funds envelopes, and I am just gonna go ahead and mark off here what I have added to each. So I like to mark off in blue when I add funds to each envelope. So for the car, we just added 20 this time. And we added 15. Gifts, we added 47. Home, we added 20. Personal was 15 for both. And pet was 15. We didn't add anything to vacation this time. And 12 was the HOA. Now, HOA I don't actually have an envelope for. I keep this in my bank account because I pay this electronically. So now we just want to add up each of these. So I will have 3, 28. And I'm sorry, I'm like terrible with doing math in my head, so I am pulling out my calculator. Heck yeah. All right. Okay. 7, 2, 34, 20. All right, these 15. 27, 40. All right. Okay, very nice. Now, after doing this, we're gonna go ahead and count our money to make sure that I have the correct amount in each of these. So we'll start with the car fund. I should have 3 28s in here. So let's see, 1, 2, 53, 320, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right. All right, and the next is car maintenance. And we had recently, my husband got like his oil change towel rotation, so we have taken funds from this a few weeks ago, I think it was. So we have 23, so 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3. That's good. Gifts, we should have 234. So let's see. Let me separate this again. 1, 20, 30, 60, 80, 2, 2, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I didn't have anything besides the 20, so yeah, that works. And then our personal, yeah, we added just the 15, and we had used funds from prior, so that's correct. Pets, we should have 27. I think soon we're gonna have to buy dog food. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. And vacation, we actually just added 200 to vacation from a side hustle that my husband did. So we didn't actually budget for it, but we have something going on Thanksgiving week, and this is always good to have that little extra spending fund. So 150, 170, 90, 200. Yep. So now these we are just going to clip, and this is going to go in our safe just for security. But that is everything for this budget with me, cash envelope stuffing, and showing you my sinking funds charts. I hope that you guys found it helpful, and again, that it will inspire you to make your own budget and stay on a cash system, because it can truly save you a ton of money. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on my next video. Bye guys!